Hey folks, Positive Paul. Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. Well, yeah, there's something rotten in Denmark. Look, these reptoids are so ass backwards in everything they do. But it's done for a reason. With their little predictive programming, giving us dumb humans clues of what they're up to. Yeah, big Bastille Day. I'm sure the French, they're all fine wine and cheese today. God forbid they get their hands dirty. Well, we got, look, our Independence Day certainly was uneventful. One thing I'm curious about, if information needs to be censored, certain individuals need to be shadow banned, also to the point where information's constantly being removed from the internet, and we're to believe that we live in an open society where information can be shared freely. But with all this going on, how could not one surmise that something is being hidden? There is a necessity to have something, someone hidden from, let's say, they're hiding information from people who really, they know that something's going on, but yet you would explain it, it's if it's not in my backyard type of mentality. So with all this being said, and there's supposedly this disinformation campaign on every subject concerning these slippery, secret super soldiers, this secret space program that, I'm sure, look, these people believe they're part of something. And at this point, we know the so-called powers that be can certainly pull some hocus pocus. Now, I'm trying to be careful in this video because clearly I've touched a nerve. And it's not so much about who and how I'm exposing them. It's more my commentary that accompanies my simple assessment. They're allowing all these so-called do-gooders to present their fact-finding to try to help all of us clueless humans. But yet, when we point out the peculiarities of these interviews, let's say, we are reprimanded for that. Now, I'm going to just make a quick observation. Your boy Trump keeps telling you, yes, the best days are still ahead. Make America great again. But what I'll show you is right now one aspect of how they're telling you in plain sight that, guess what, folks? Everything you believe in is all ass backwards. Now here's a simple photo of myself after September 11th with somebody I know. And back then, I was still clueless to my involvement in MK Ultra. But look, certainly I had been involved in certain proceedings that indicated that I was being hassled, harassed, watched, monitored back in the 90s. Workplace harassment, all that good stuff. And I certainly explained a lot of this years ago. Now, one of my big complaints is the vague YouTube testimony from all these so-called TIs. It's very interesting how I see people suddenly pulling all their videos, changing their channel names. Everybody's running and ducking for cover, folks. And I'm hearing, one thing I am going to do, folks, is when I popped up on the scene early 2016, the whole targeted individual landscape back then was much different from what it is now. As some of these so-called targets walked down their primrose path with their rose-colored glasses, trying to figure out what was happening to them. Some of them got swept up in the melee, just completely disappeared. Some still have their channels up but haven't made videos in years. The TI highway is littered with endless stories of black, white, and red cars chasing them around, people mobbing them in grocery stores, Walmarts, directed energy being used on them, waking them up in the middle of the night. But what I want to do is, we know it's been graduation season, and it's kind of came and went. You would be shocked that if I held a TI graduation today, over 4 years later, on who graduated from the graduating TI class of 2016 and still live to tell about it and can still make videos and make sense and haven't been censored. You notice how some of the people that are pulling their videos, they just left all you so-called TIs high and dry, folks. Thousands and thousands of subscribers. But remember, some are totally committed to the deception because they have no choice. They're of a certain ilk that no matter what happens, no matter how hard they try to break free, in the end, they'll never do it, folks. So what they do is they come up with all these nice, well-crafted stories based on actually real stories from real people. And they make them their own. Now, again, I won't be known as the smartest tool in the shed, but it's been obvious that at this point I'm being kept around and being used as bait. And the Satanists know this, but yet they're going to damn the torpedoes and still continue to try to play this little game with me. Now, remember, folks, when you're trying to figure out who's on the level and who's not, Just look who's doing things ass backwards.